Hi everybody, I'm David. You know who I am. Dennis Narciso kind of got me to try Facebook Live, so today we're going to do it in several segments, but we're making beef stroganoff. So let's see if I can show you what we were doing. There. What you see here is I normally use London broil, but they didn't have London broil today at the Hy-Vee, so I'm using just good Angus certified round steak. You put it in the freezer, you gotta get it nice and firm, and then you kind of cut it right down the middle, you know, and then slice it nice and thin. You brown it in your pan, and once it gets brown, you add in your, let's see, salt, Worcestershire sauce, beef broth, and right now it's in the process of cooking down a little bit. Then, earlier today, we did this, or earlier this, just a few minutes ago, we took a stick of butter, unsalted butter, thank you, and 3 large onions, a couple of big packages of mushrooms, because I'm making this for a crowd. My granddaughters are coming up this weekend, and we're going to freeze this and then have it just kind of cook it up. So I've got a good amount of probably 4 cloves of garlic, 3 Vidalia onions, and 2 of the large packages of the mushrooms. And I sauteed all that. Got it nice and translucent, and we will be adding that to this in about another 10 minutes or so. Then what happens after that? Well, we add a little bit more beef broth into the stirring of the meat and everything that's going on. We're going to put in some flour. We're going to add some garlic powder, perhaps, and then we're going to put in a couple of cans of cream of mushroom soup. Now, that is my mom's secret recipe. In fact, we used to eat this as a kid. Loved it when we had beef stroganoff. So we do that, and I'll kind of keep you up to date on that here later on, but that's what's happening with that. Now, let's turn this back around. So, as you can see, I am recovering. Still a little weak. The drugs that I've been taking, the prednisones and all the steroids, have pretty much atrophied my leg and arm muscles. So I look like a stick figure walking around here very, very slowly. But looking forward to the time when I can get out and say hi to friends and maybe go back to church. But you know me, my best therapy is right here in the kitchen. So we're going to let this cook down a little bit, and once we get ready to continue, we'll come back on live and we can finish up, and I'll show you the end product. So have a good afternoon. Well, hello again. It's been about 15 to 20 minutes or so. So we are going to take what's been simmering here now and add the rest of the ingredients to our classic beef stroganoff. Now, I got to thinking about it. My other brothers may not remember this dish, but I think they will. We used to eat it all the time. So I want to turn what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be adding a few items to the thing. First off, we want to take because I'm making a double portion. Now, a reminder, these are double portions. Usually it'd be just a 1/4 cup of flour, but it's a 1/2 cup. So let's put that in there. Then we put some more beef broth into the bowl. Because the recipe actually called for 1½ cups of beef flavored broth, we're using 3 cups because we want to get the full amount. But I think maybe 3 cups might be a little too much. So we're going to kind of cut back, and then we can always add to it after that. So let's stir this up. Get it nice and frothy and make a little mess so I can, you know, the chef has to make a mess or it's not a good thing. So that's looking pretty good right there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this mixture, pour it nice and slow into the beef stroganoff, turn the thing up a little higher so I can get some heat going, and just start kind of messing around with it. Now, as you know, the flour is going to act like a roux, And you can already see it's starting to thicken up now. Good. I like that. So we'll probably add, now let's go ahead and add the rest of the beef broth into the mixture. So that's 3 cups of beef broth because we are doubling the amount, because we're going to feed an army by the time it's all said and done. But you can see how, look at that, it's nice consistency now. It's not as runny as it used to be. It's almost like, it's really, really very, very nice. So we've got that done now. Let's see if I can remember this right. Okay, so I'm going to set this up here so you can see. I think you can see me still. We're going to take, remember the onion mixture? We're going to take that now and dump it into the mixture here. Now, I'm using a pretty big pan, but as you'll see, it is getting a little bit, a little full. So let's work that in slowly. Kind of get it all mixed up in there nice like that. Because we still got a couple of things to put in here. So I think we're going to be okay. If not, I probably should have moved it over to a stock pot. But we'll see how it tastes first before we add Mom's secret ingredient. It may taste good as it is. Now I haven't added any salt. We've used unsalted butter. And we haven't added any pepper or anything like that. I think the Worcestershire sauce is going to be pretty good. So let's just take a little taste here. That's almost as good right there as is. But because I love the way it used to be, we're going to take a can of 98% fat-free cream of mushroom. Now, I'm a snob. I like Campbell's. I could have used the Hy-Vee brand, but I'm a snob. So let's put it in. Oh, come on now. I may have to put this down and use the spatula. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm going to set you down just a second. I don't know what that did, but I'll be right back to you as soon as I clean out this can. So let's wait. Let's see here. Let's wait to put the second can in, and let's see what we got here first, okay? And 2 of you are with me. Hi, how are you doing? Hope everything's going good with you today. Now, what we will do is once we taste this and make any adjustments like salt, pepper, I don't think we'll need any more Worcestershire sauce or however you say that. But it's pretty good. So we're going to mix it all up, make sure that cream and mushroom soup gets in there real good, and then we're going to let it simmer for a while. And once we're done, we'll let it cool off. We'll pack it into some great Gladware and freeze this bad boy so that when the girls come this weekend, we just take it out, pop it in a casserole dish, and cook this thing up. Now most people, well, I'm going to say I was raised using egg noodles as the base, when you decide to serve it. But Lainey has introduced me to using rice instead. Now, you can use any rice you want, short grain, long grain, but I'm, again, a cooking snob, sorry. So I like jasmine rice. So I get jasmine rice. And I like it because it gives it a sweet kind of flavor, and it's a long grain rice that flakes real easily too. See what we got here. Well, it's almost there, but I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit more of the mushroom soup in. Just a little bit. Just give it a taste, as they say. Okay? So we'll mix this all in. As I was saying, I like to use the jasmine rice because it cooks up really good. It's clean. It's not too starchy. And you can flake it with a fork real easily. And then when you're done, you can go either one way for leftovers. You can just mix the rice in with the leftovers and let it go that way. Or you can... I can't put the phone down, Dennis. Well, is it like this? Is that what you're wanting? Oh well, I'm getting tips from Mr. Narciso. So if this is wrong, somebody tell me. But anyway, here we go. We're making the sauce, and we've got the meat and everything in there like this. Now, this is Beef Stroganoff Part 2. Part 1, I've already recorded earlier, and you can take a look at that. And, okay. That's good stuff. So, there we go. Now, if this is sideways, someone can comment and say, hey, turn the camera, and it'll work better that way. So we kind of let it go now, and it's going. What we're going to do now, oh my God, that's good. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, because I like mine to have just a little pepper in there too. So a little few shakes, not too much, because you know this is for the kids and everything coming up, but enough. I think it's salty enough, even just using the recipe. They did call for salt, and I use sea salt. So, okay, so we've got this all done now. Oops. See, got to do some cleanup now. Clean up on aisle 5. So, hey, I see Dennis is on, and if he thinks if this is sideways, let me know, and we'll correct. But first attempt. So now the thing to remember is that otherwise, thanks Dennis, otherwise when you're done, and if you were going to serve it right now, you'd go ahead and put sour cream in it. And again, fat-free, light sour cream. And that finishes it off very nicely. So what I'm going to do now is let this simmer just a little while, probably about a half hour on low. Then I'll put it into my Tupperware containers, freeze this bad boy, and then when the girls get up here this weekend, Saturday night dinner, we'll pull this out, put it in the oven, get it nice and warm, and then when we serve it over the rice, we'll put the sour cream in at the very end, and maybe some chives and things like that too. So, if you have any questions, let me run through the recipe real quickly, just so you know what to expect. First off, now this, I'm going to give you just the regular recipe that I have that's been handed to me, and that because I doubled it, remember that. So it's not going to be this full when you do yours. So you're going to start with 1.5 pounds of beef sirloin steak, about 1 inch thick, and cut it into cubes. 8 ounces of fresh mushrooms sliced. That's 2.5 ounces. 2 medium onions, and get them nice and thin. A garlic clove chopped. A 1/4 cup butter, and I use unsalted butter always. 1.5 cups of beef flavor broth, and you can get any kind you want. I use Progresso. No, today I used Hy-Vee. It's cheap. 1/2 teaspoon salt, a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1/4 cup of Gold Medal all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups of sour cream at the very end, and then you can either use your cooked egg noodles, no yolk or rice that we use around here, and I've already explained to you about the nice rice that I use. So you cut the beef across the grain into strips. You cook your mushrooms, onions, and garlic in the butter. Get them nice and translucent and tender. Then take them and put them in a big bowl over here like that. Get them off the skillet. Then you're going to cook the beef in the same skillet until we're brown it up. We're going to put in about a cup of the broth, the salt, the Worcestershire sauce, and then we're going to boil it, and we're going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Then the last step really is we put in the 1/2 cup of broth into the flour. We showed you that. Going to stir it into the beef mixture. We're going to add the onion mixture into it. Then at that, then you can either serve it then with your sour cream, or you can freeze it or put it in the refrigerator and save it for a rainy day. And then just make sure you add that sour cream though when you heat it up, and it's ready to go. And then serve over noodles or rice. So, if you have any questions, just Facebook friend me or let me know. And if this works out good, I'm going to start sharing some of my famous recipes too, so that everybody out there can cook like moi. So, have a great afternoon, and we're going to be cooking now tomorrow. We're going to be cooking stuffed red bell and green bell peppers too. Very good. So, have a good afternoon. Thanks for joining me, and keep prayers coming my way. Bye-bye.